Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Monday, the 14th day of February, 2021, Monday of the sixth week in Ordinary Time, the sixth week of the year. It is also the memorial of Saints Cyril and Methodius, the great missionaries to the Slavic peoples who brought Christianity to them back in the 700s, 600s, something like that. But it is also Valentine's Day. Although St. Valentine is not officially recognized as a universal feast any longer on the calendar, it still is on the calendar. This 4th century martyr who wasn't necessarily known as being a loving person, but supposedly was a priest or something like that who preached love, and so name gets attached to the day and things like that. So there is evidence that somebody by this name may have existed at that time, but the church recognizes the great missionary efforts of bringing Christianity to the Slavic peoples by Cyril and Methodius also on this day. Coming to you on this frosty morning, as you can see, there is still frost on the grass over here as all of the sun is warming everything up. The Marianne Cope playground for our preschool right behind me over here. And so our readings for today, with departing from the Book of Kings and the saga of the House of David, we now move to the letter of James. The letter of James begins with a greeting to all of the tribes in dispersion throughout the Mediterranean and the Roman Empire, and then speaks about perseverance, and perseverance that is necessary in any day, in any age, with one who has trust and who has faith in God's promises and the fulfillment of God's promises. And James compares the sense of, or connects the sense of perseverance with faith in God, that we can only persevere because of our faith in God, and the faith of God that allows us to keep moving forward, even through despair and misfortunes and disappointments and what have you. Without having this faith in God, thinking we can do it all on our own, as sometimes the rich and the wealthy do, basically amounts to nothing. It can only amount to only deepening the despair or finding ourselves in a very deep hole from which there is no way out. It's interesting, again, this kind of connection to the Sunday's gospel, where, again, Jesus talks about the focus that needs to be upon the poor, the hungry, those who are mourning, and those who are oppressed for what it is that they believe. Is perseverance that allows us to encourage each other and allows us to be able to see God at work even in these most difficult times, which is, again, part of our responsibility as believers in this world. It's always to encourage each other, to keep hoping with each other, that we can see and experience God's promises being not only being revealed, but being lived and fulfilled. With that is connected a gospel that doesn't really say much at all. The gospel on this Valentine's Day is basically the Pharisees asking Jesus for a sign, and Jesus saying, "You're not going to get one." And that's about it. Again, the need or the necessity for proof, the need and necessity for extraordinary proof is really what the Pharisees are looking for. They can't see the kind of overlooked or the hidden revelation that Jesus is who indeed he says he is, and that the reign of God is coming forth in their midst. They want something spectacular. They want something astounding. They want something out of the ordinary. And again, God does not work like that, because that is God of magic. That is God of the machine. That is God of something that is not God at all. It is not about signs. It's about recognizing the fact that God makes the ordinary extraordinary, and through our own efforts, that work of making the ordinary extraordinary, it becomes a sign of the reign of God in our midst. For us to be focused on that, for us to be conscious, of these many small and overlooked ways in which God reveals the wonder and power of who and what God is, enriches our lives and causes our witness to be even more powerful than if God were to use spectacular and fantastic and supernatural means. And may the Lord give you his peace.